In class 2, the first lesson that, or exercise that we are going to be doing is to be doing a continuous tone band uh, based on what we did in the first class, where we had separate steps dividing the tones from 10% to 100%, and each was a very distinctive step. This time, what we're going to do is we're going to create a continuous tone from 0% all the way to 100% using 3 different hardnesses of pencil. So the thing to do is to start again using your pencil at a very low angle and leaving some white. And this time, instead of filling in a very even tone, we're going to start with a 10%, but it should blend into the white so it disappears. But once you get to 10%, then you're going to fill in the entire band with a 10% value. So you'll continue this, getting a nice even tone on your page so that you do not see any pencil marks, but that you have this nice 10% value that goes all the way across to the end of the guideline band that you drew, which of course will be the same size as the bands that you made in lesson 1. So they'll be 3/4 of an inch high by 8.5 inches long. But there won't be any dividing lines separating the values. So once you have the entire band filled in with a 10% value, working very carefully so that you get a nice even tone all the way along, you will go back again, and then you will start and put in the 20% value. Now that we have the entire 10% value drawn across the panel, I have started to draw the next layer of graphite, which will be your 20%. Again, this will have to be gradually blended in at the beginning from the 10% value to the 20%, and then you will draw 20% of value all the way across to the end of the end of the value band, as we did before. You don't have to worry too much about going outside the lines. It's much more important to get a nice even tone as you go all the way to the end of the band. We can erase the lines that are the pencil marks that have gone outside the guidelines using your eraser shield that you have in your kit. So as you can see, I'm going all the way to the end of the band, making sure that I have nice even tone all the way to the end. And I may have to do a second drawing or a second layer of banding, toning, in order to bring it up to 20%, which I will check with my value scale once I have one of the layers finished. Okay, at this point you can see that we have gotten to our 20% value scale, or value level, and we will take a look at it, and you can see that there's a difference. We can start to see a difference here where this is a little darker. You may want to even go in again and start working maybe just a little darker, put a second layer of value on the 20% scale, making sure that you get nice even tone, which at this point will start to be more critical as you get darker and darker, because you'll start to see where you have your patchiness. But once you do this, you're going to have to go the entire length of the band so that you have a nice even tone. And then you will do it again for the 30% and the 40% and the 50%, making sure that you build your tone up all the way to the end every single time. So what you're eventually going to end up with is a piece of artwork for each hardness of pencil that looks like this. And although mine on the sample that I started to show you starts with light and goes to dark, it doesn't matter. This one goes from dark to light, but you can see that same idea. Again, make sure that you label each band as to the hardness of the pencil, and if you've used a wood pencil such as this, make sure you tell me who the manufacturer is on the page, because that way it will be a record for you to know what pencil you used. If you're using a mechanical pencil, that won't be necessary. You can mark mechanical pencil, and that will do the trick.